Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of A-B to Z. I'm Tommy Musil.
And I'm Desmond O'Grady. Here are today's stories.
This year's fall play, You Can't Take It With You, presented by Proscenium Circus, is opening this Thursday, October 30th.
Be sure to get there for the 7:30 p.m. showings on October 30th, November 1st, 7th, and 8th, and the 3 p.m. showings on November 2nd and 8th. There are no shows on Halloween.
Staying with A-B Theater, Not Your Average Joe's is teaming up with the A-B's Proscenium Circus for the Not Your Average Cause fundraiser.
So next time you dine at Not Your Average Joe's on a Tuesday, make sure to talk to a member of Proscenium Circus to learn how to donate 15% of your total bill to Proscenium Circus. A-B's Proscenium Circus is truly not your average Proscenium Circus.
You can say that one again.
A-B's Proscenium Circus is truly...
Figuratively, Desmond, not actually.
Sorry.
This past week was Ally Week.
Ally Week is a national event that raises awareness for the LGBTQ community.
A-B's Gay Straight Alliance Common Ground coordinates Ally Week, and it was very successful. Switching gears now, ComEd basketball registration is now open. Be sure to sign up before it's too late.
For high school ComEd, the defending champion Hootie and the Orange Fist look to defend their title.
Unfortunately, that is true. But without Calvin Sullivan's perimeter shooting, they might not have been the champions.
Don't forget about Will Otero's me first type of offense that ultimately led to the victory of Hootie and the Blowfish.
It'll be interesting to see how the infamous sophomore slump affects Cal and Will.
Their draft stock is definitely dropping.
Moving on to an actual draft pick, Acton-Boxborough alumni Bob Sweeney, former Boston Bruins center and current executive director of the Boston Bruins Foundation, is highlighted in this week's community profile done by Michaela Pittman and Scotty Howe.
I first started playing hockey when I was 5 years old, but it was kind of a funny story. I actually quit.
Bob tells us that luckily he went back to hockey. He went on to have an incredible career.
We all kind of wanted to play hockey. That was kind of the in thing at the time, but I don't think we envisioned when we were 6, 8 years old that we were going to play for the Bruins.
We spoke to Bob and his mother about his experience at Acton-Boxborough Regional High School.
Oh, he loved it there because there was, all the kids were there and played hockey with him, and they all really did very well there.
It was good. We always had good teams, and Acton-Boxborough had a rich tradition of hockey talent. I think they won the state championship in '72. My brother played there before I did. They always had good teams, and the best part about that in the late '70s and early '80s was it wasn't just the finals were at the Garden, it was the quarterfinals, semifinals. You get a chance to play 3 times.
We spoke to Bob and his mother about his experience of being drafted.
We really didn't know what to expect, but we soon found out that they were watching him, and when he decided to go to BC, they watched him when he went to BC too, and so it was very exciting.
It was a dream come true to get drafted by your local team,
Right.
But I knew at the time that I was going to go on to Boston College.
Bob was picked in the 1982 draft right out of high school, but went on to play 4 years of hockey first at Boston College.
It was a great stepping stone for me, not only for hockey, but more importantly to get my education. So I got my degree in marketing from there, graduated on time, and am thankful that I did that because I'm falling back on it today.
Bob tells us about some of the most memorable moments within his career.
One of the best stories about my pro career involves another Acton-Boxborough alumni. The goalie that I played with growing up and 3 years in high school was Tommy Barrasso. Mm-hmm. And he went on to have a great career with Buffalo and Pittsburgh. And I actually scored my first NHL goal against Tommy. So that was pretty fun, and it's a stat that I'll never forget. In my day, it was the old 6-foot rule. I'm almost 6'4", and I think anybody that was over 6'2" in those days had to face the music, so to speak, so I had my fair share of scraps.
We asked Bob about some of his teammates throughout his career.
My first exhibition game, and the coach at the time was Butch Goring for the Bruins, and he put me out on the power play with Ray Bourque as my partner, and I was like, what the heck am I doing out here with Ray Bourque, a guy that I, looked at when I was in college and in high school and said, wow, this guy, what a great player he is, and then to be able to be out there, let alone be on the ice with him, and so that I learned early on, just give it to Ray. Even today, we're close friends, we work out together, he's always been great to me and was a great teammate.
Lastly, Bob tells us about what he and his teammates are doing today.
Cam, who now is our president here, and Donnie Sweeney's our assistant GM. So it's good to see those guys, and it's kind of funny, you don't expect that when you're kind of playing a sport and being a kid a little bit longer than most, which we were fortunate to do into our 30s. You kind of chuckle a little bit inside when you see everybody has moved on and has serious positions with the organization.
Today, he is the Executive Director of Development for the Boston Bruins Foundation.
I was retired in 2001. Johnny Busick had stepped down from the Bruins alumni, so I was fortunate to take that over at a young age and run that for 8 years.
Bob further explains what his job today entails.
I had an opportunity to come to work here about 8 years ago running the youth hockey program, which we basically had just started. And so I had young kids that were playing, so it was a great fit. But then I also had the opportunity to take over the foundation, which was a great fit for me, and I enjoy what I do. We deal with numerous charities, whether it's Mass Down Syndrome, Special Olympics, cystic fibrosis, Best Buddies, you name it. We're very well diversified. And last year we gave out over $3 million to different charities. It's something, when we first started, we were giving out probably 500-600, so it's something that I'm proud of.
Bob leaves us with the message, if you don't ask, you don't get, and for the future generations to be hardworking and motivated.
Great guy. I love the part when he said his first NHL goal was scored on his former high school teammate, Tom Barrasso.
I agree. Bob Sweeney is a true hometown hero.
The AB Nordic ski team is more of an unsung hero, and if you need your yard raked and cleaned up, do not let it get any dirtier. On November 8th or 9th, AB skiers will be cleaning up yards as a fundraiser for this season. Time slots are going fast, so be sure to contact this email to schedule your lawn to be raked.
Finally, I have an excuse for not raking the leaves.
The AB girls volleyball team is partnering with shoeboxrecycling.com to collect gently used pairs of shoes for redistribution around the world. All shoes except flip-flops, Crocs, slippers, and shoes with holes are accepted. Shoes can be dropped off in boxes at the libraries of the high school, junior high, Kona School, and the Acton Memorial Library through October 31st.
Sticking with AB Sports, this year, AB has installed a new track and it has been getting quite a lot of hype.
It sure has. The state-of-the-art track will be turning heads come springtime.
We, along with our filming partner, Max Mahegan, went behind the scenes on this story about the AB track.
Obviously, it's a tremendous surface. Every team can train on it. They can do their conditioning. Not just the track team. Track and field it's huge. I mean, what a wonderful facility it's become. 8 lanes for the sprints, and it's just beautiful. But everybody is going to be able to enjoy it, including the community. I mean, a lot of games in the afternoon when I'm out there. We have a lot of members of the community just walking around the track and enjoying it. So it's going to be beneficial to many people.
The track will also be much safer compared to the last one for our track athletes.
One of the biggest injuries that track and field athletes face is from stress fractures and stress on the bones. And this is such a soft, giving surface that we're going to actually be able to run some hard track workouts without the damage to the joints and the bones. And last year our high jumpers were having to jump off of the turf infield. This year they have this beautiful surface that gives and bounces. It's going to be a phenomenal.
We talked to one track athlete how the new track will help him reach his goals for this upcoming track season.
I think the outstanding quality of the new track is definitely going to help me get an edge on my practice for this year and help me improve my goals, help me improve my skills to reach all the goals that I need to make states this year, you know. It's been a long year last year. We didn't have a pole vault pit last year, so it was really a disadvantage to all the other teams who had a high-quality pit. But, you know, this year we have a new pit. It's going to be a great year. I'm really looking forward to it.
All right, thank you for your time, Michael. And we wish all the fall teams the best of luck in their upcoming state tournaments. Any predictions, Des?
Yeah, I think the girls' varsity soccer team will go far, maybe even win the state championship.
Yeah, I agree. They are ranked 4th in the nation.
Well, that's all the time we have on this edition of A, B to Z.
Until next time, I'm Tommy.
And I'm Desmond. Have a great week.